to my channel. I am back with this week's Teen Mom Recap. Before I get started with this week's video, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel because I post new videos every single week about the newest episode of Teen Mom Next Chapter. If that's something you want to watch, go ahead and subscribe. And anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this week's video. Caitlin and Macy decide that they're going to visit Amber for her birthday. MTV is definitely not forcing them to do this for a storyline. No way, no sir. Definitely not, because Amber has nothing else going on. Macy vents to Taylor about the awkward situation. She says, I can't just know this stuff about Leah wanting Christina to adopt her and not tell Amber about it. Taylor says that'll crush Amber, but Leah is crushed too. I love Amber. I always will. She's my dear friend. But the most important person is Leah. I think that we'll meet with Gary first to get his side of the story. Next is Caitlin. Nova is playing with a pregnant Barbie doll, and Tyler, who really thinks himself to be smart, says, did you know that they discontinued the pregnant Barbie because all the parents complained that it would make their 9-year-olds pregnant? They just didn't want to talk about sex. No, they discontinued the pregnant Barbie because it was fucking creepy and weird. You could detach the magnetic stomach and take the baby out. It was bizarre. Kate's just like, yeah, that's so dumb. No, y'all are dumb. Let me call Amber and tell her about our birthday plans for her. What's up, girl? I'm just going to Costco. Wow, that's so exciting. Me and Macy are coming to Indiana for your birthday. Aw, I can't wait. Sure isn't like she has any other plans. Caitlin discusses the Christina adoption thing with Tyler as well. Tyler says it's not your or Macy's place to say it. It's Gary and Leah's. And he is absolutely correct. Sure, but it makes me feel like a bad friend. She's gonna spiral when she finds out. Maybe talk to Gary about it. Amber tells Gary 2.0, so the girls are coming to visit me. I have so many memories with them. We've been through a lot together. That's great, you should have fun, as long as I get to keep my birthday plans with you. I love that. I love you. Macy and Caitlin arrive to Indiana, and they call Gary to set up a time to chat. Next is Briana. Things are tense with my family. I feel like doing a photo shoot would really bring us all together. And Leah leaves a comment that says, you guys are the three amigas. Why do I feel like Leah's the type to go to a Mexican restaurant and say, gracias, senor. These quesadillas are really great. Probably wears a sombrero too. Briana asks Brittany to come to the photo shoot. Brittany's nervous about it, but she does agree to go. She says that she's checked up on their mom, but it was very brief. Kate and Macy meet up with Gary. So, when's the last time that Amber saw Leah? Her birthday. When she got with new Gary, she stopped reaching out to Leah. Big shocker there. So, Tyler said that Leah wanted Christina to adopt her. What's your mindset on that? Gary says, I know that Amber found out something about it. She said recently, oh, I've been hearing stuff, but I chose to just leave it at that. Caitlin says, it must be okay to talk about it if she knows it. But Macy says, I don't know if we should. Would it do more good or harm? Probably more harm. Maybe we should wait for her to bring it up. Does Leah even still want it to happen? We don't know. Gary and Christina have a talk. So yeah, I'm gonna host a cookout for Amber's birthday. If new Gary comes, that would be great. Since no one has met him yet, it would be a nice introduction. Since it'll be at our house, Leah can choose if she wants to come out to it or just sit inside or do her homework. If she feels a certain way, she can just go inside. Macy and Kate arrive to Amber's place and Gary 2.0 is there. Before they go inside, Macy and Caitlin secretly hope that he does not go out with them. I think Macy even says, sorry bro, I don't want you to go to dinner with us. In yet another totally unsurprising moment, Amber has junk all over her house and says that she has not unpacked. I'm still figuring out where to put stuff. Bitch, what do you do all day? It's been months! So new Gary introduces himself to Macy and Kate. He says, so we've been together for 7 months. I'm Vietnamese, but I grew up in Indiana. Everyone gets to chatting, and at one point Amber says, you know, I'm the only one out of us who's not married. And Macy's like, well, I'm glad you didn't marry those fools before. I kind of am digging Macy's subtle shade. I feel like she's a little bitter that MTV forced her to get away from her beer for a while and have to go on this forced trip with Amber. Right after Macy says that, all of a sudden, Gary gets up off the couch. And he says, speaking of marriage, Amber Portwood, baby, I love you, and you've been absolutely amazing to me. I don't see myself with anyone else. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. All of this is happening while she's lounging on the couch in front of her 2 MTV obligation friends who he's never met. And keep in mind, they've only been together half a year, barely. is so bad and so awkward and so embarrassing, but Amber's just eating it up. I mean, Gary did propose at her favorite spot, that being the couch, so I guess that was thoughtful of him. Kate and Macy's reactions are priceless. Kate goes completely wide-eyed, and while Gary's trying to be all romantic in the living room, they're saying, holy crap, is this actually happening? Is he messing with us? And they're legit, like, laughing at him right in front of him. Amber says, yes, I will. I actually will really marry you. And the way she says it is so weird. Like, why are you saying, like, oh, I'm actually gonna marry you? It almost sounded, like, sarcastic. In the confessional, Macy and Kate say, that was awkward. We met him 5 minutes before. Oh, geez. And you can tell they want to say more, but they're like, Amber's our friend. They don't want to catch those hands. And then corny-ass Gary turns to the cameras and says, did you guys get that? Great way to start off the girls' night, huh? As if that proposal was like something to brag about. As if it was romantic. I can't. Like, something is wrong with this dude. And apparently he was found on Tinder like a month ago. Guess he found a new girl because he proposed to his new girlfriend like a week ago. Dude's name is Gary Waite, yet he doesn't seem to be doing much waiting. I mean, obviously anyone who would pick Amber is not sane, but this dude is just odd. We could tell Matt Byers' game right away. He was a scammer. But like, this dude, I can't figure out his game, his end plan here. Briana meets up with her family for the photo shoot. How are you doing, Mom? Working. What about when you're not working? I stay home comatose. Which, like, mood. The vibes are just off at this photo shoot. I see that Brittany brought her man and got some pics with him, so I feel like she just showed up for some free pictures for her engagement. When it's time for Roxanne to get in the picture, the photographer has to say, smile at her, like you love her, guys. And Brittany says this is awkward as fuck. Later, Brittany says, I just wasn't in the moment. And I don't think Mom was either. Ever since Mom got back from rehab, she's been so negative. She doesn't even talk to the kids as much. Brittany says she's always been like that to me. Always so distant. Welcome to my life. At the girls' night, Macy is just flabbergasted. She says, it takes a lot to shock me. I thought that he was joking with that proposal. And Macy is right, by the way. She's very monotone. We never see her this emotional. Amber says, I didn't think he would do that, but I'm still gonna marry him. And then they start to discuss Leah, although they do not bring up the adoption. Amber says, so I asked Leah to hang out, and she said yes. And then I asked again, and she was vague, and she just sent me her schedule. I took that as, damn, we took some steps back here. And I was confused when I heard this. Like, how is that taking steps back? And why did you not end up hanging out the first time you asked? It sounds like you didn't set up a date and time and you, like, expected Leah to do that. And which, as her so-called mom, that is on you to do, not the child. And then the second time you tried to hang out, it sounds like Leah was trying to help your dumbass out. Like, hey, here's the times that I'm free. And instead, you just took it immediately as an out. Assume the worst. Assume that Leah was saying I'm too busy. Without even asking her to clarify. Pathetic. Even Caitlin says, are you sure Leah didn't just send you that so that you could schedule around her busy dates? No, she meant I'm busy. Did you ask her? Macy says, the way Leah is reminds me of Ryan. You're her mother. She wants you around. Even if she acts like a total brat, bother her. You have to bother her. Macy, please shut the fuck up and stop writing for deadbeats. Again. In the confessional, Macy says, Amber didn't mention one inkling about Leah wanting adoption, so we didn't bring it up. Which was the mature decision, as much as my messy ass wanted them to bring it up so that we could have an Amber meltdown and I could get the popcorn. It would be very entertaining. In the car, Macy and Caitlin are hilariously shady. They call Tyler and spill the proposal details. Macy says straight up, I haven't even got a good look at his face, and he proposed on the side of the couch? Like, are we still on planet Earth? Tyler says, only in Indiana, homie. The day Jesus' family gets together once again for an awkward hangout. Roxanne says, I'm exhausted, and my back hurts bad, and I have insomnia. They get the pictures back, and they don't look that great. I'm sorry, like, no one looks happy to be there. You were distant at the photo shoot. I'm tired. I went after work, and the drive was long. My body is still adapting and adjusting. If I'm detached, it's not intentional. Brittany says, you need to get that therapy, because I don't want this version of you. Amber has her birthday cookout. Gary number 2 meets everyone. He gives them hugs. He introduces himself to Leah, and he says, you shouldn't have a problem remembering my name. Ha 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 ha. Later, Gary number 1 says that Gary number 2 seems really nice, and Leah's just like, yeah. knowing that he'll be gone in a few weeks anyway. Caitlin asks Amber, are you going to tell anyone about the proposal? No, I'm going to wait. I'm not even thinking about that right now. Which is the right decision, but don't worry, next episode's preview showed her announcing her proposal to everybody, so it doesn't last too long. This was an amazing birthday, guys. I'm so glad that you guys met Gary. I love you all. You guys remember when Amber would always say, sending love in every episode in all her posts? When she was like putting anything but love into the world. She would just put out these unhinged Instagram lives. I miss those days. I wish we could hang out more. I say that I'm open whenever, and then I don't hear from you guys. Gary says, well, be on time and don't be late. I know that, Gary. Little slight bit of tension there. Later, Caitlin says that she thinks they handled it well. I think we helped her understand Leah instead of dropping bombs on her. And that is all for this episode of Teen Mom the Next Chapter. What do we think of Gary number 2's couch-side proposal? Please rate it out of 10. Make sure to leave a comment down below and make sure to subscribe for more Teen Mom recaps every week.